Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. Better late than never. My fucking bad. I'm sorry, friends. It was one of those days that just things kept happening and I couldn't stop. They were rolling faster than I could stop them. And then I just posted right before I went live, just posted this IG story and I was thinking like, oh, they're looking at this. They're thinking I'm sitting on my fucking bed posting this story right now instead of going live, but I took that like 10 hours ago when I woke up. So, not that that's what you guys were thinking, but always feeling the need to explain myself. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Monday, July 5th. It's a holiday. Apparently, a lot of people take work off today or have work off today. Not your girl. But I am sorry that I am late. So, I was booked for a shoot today, and it was it's a like a one-off gig, and I was supposed to go in earlier, and then things got turned around, and then long story short, I got the wrong address. I was given the wrong address for the place that I was going, and the camera is so far away from me. I have to figure out this set still, which I have not done yet, but I will. But I haven't, and I didn't want to be late even later for you guys, so I will work all of this out. I do still have my American flag balloons though, so that counts for something, right? Anyway, I got the wrong address, so I'm like walking around looking for the studio or looking for the place that I was supposed to shoot, and can't find it. You don't want to be that person who ends up calling the person and be like, where is it? So like for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm like looking everywhere. I can't find it. I'm like, you guys know I'm really bad with directions. I checked the address 15 times. I'm like, what the fuck? And it brought me to a Chipotle. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So finally I call and I was like, what's the deal? I can't find this place. Anyway, they ended up rerouting me. I went to the right place. And then when I got there, the person, rightfully so, who hadn't been told that I was given the wrong address, just thought that I showed up really, really late, was obviously peeved. And I get it. I would have been peeved too. He was a doll face, but he was annoyed. And he's afterwards, I like charmed him and not charmed him, but I was being really friendly because I'm a friendly person, but also because I liked him. I felt really fucking bad that I was so late and he had to wait for me because you guys know I don't like to waste anybody's time ever. And so I say to him, I was like, I'm really, really sorry. I show him the text messages. I'm like, look, this isn't my fault. I was given the wrong address. Again, always overproving things. He said, it's fine. I just figured you were going to show up because the shoot was kind of like I hate this fucking word, but like an influencer shoot. So I was going, it's like a social media thing. And so he was like, it's fine. I'm just really glad because in my mind, I envisioned you showing up with fuzzy slippers and a fucking boba tea with a posse. And I was like, wow, isn't it crazy? We create these stories in our head. Like when I was not there on time, he is sitting there thinking, this fucking girl, she's walking around fucking West Hollywood, getting tea with her friends, taking her sweet time and her fuzzy ass fucking slippers. And really, I was sweating my dick off, running around looking for an address that did not exist. So it just goes to show we tell ourselves stories, we create stories in our head that are not always the case because we don't always have all the information. So let that be an early Roxy's advice corner to all of you guys. It's not the main thing we're talking about on this show today, though. Although I am in an advice mood. So get in your questions, comments, concerns. Anybody who needs some help with anything. Also, I can just off the cuff it if you guys need. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. I've had an interesting weekend. I'm going to tell you guys all about that too. And also, like the title of the show, rest in peace to Dick Donner. Richard Donner released the Donner cut. Oh God, this is such a bummer. I've seen so many amazing tweets about it, but we'll talk a little bit about this. Plus, Stephen Dorff is not a fan of Black Widow, huh? What kind of a fucking comment was that? I don't get these people. I don't get them, but we'll discuss it anyway. And other than that, it's about you guys today. So let me know. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you to Jake Yakavetta for putting this in. Steven Summers says, are we your posse? If y'all want to be my posse, y'all are my band. But if you want to be my posse, then you're my fucking posse. Posse gang strong. That's the truth. Let's go into the Streamlabs. Let's see what's going on with you guys at home. Would love to hear from y'all. So let me know what is good. Starting with the Zenist of Glenists. You guys know him. It's Glenn Caesar on the 5th of July. He says, hello and a good day, Roxy, and all your nicknames. How are you? Just sending well wishes and thanks for taking the time to hang out. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, Grammy and Papa. Be most excellent to yourselves and each other, Roxy and Rockstar's band. Every time you mention Grammy and Papa, I think that's so fucking sweet, Glenn. Thank you for doing that. Glenn also says bunnies for Avery Burke and Avery's mom. Rest in peace, Chris Burke. Hashtag 3 Rockstars forever. That's a fact. We know that. Go Smets and everyone's still fighting to smash cancer. I stand against anti-Semitism. I stand against Islamophobia. I stand against Asian hate. Hashtag stop AAPI hate. I know that Black Lives Matter. Hashtag BLM. Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly, Russ the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Hope today is the day. Justice for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. Hashtag say their names. And then Glenn says, let's see the mantra of the day today. May we be a healing medicine and or soothing balm. What did I watch this week that said soothing balm? And I was like, oh my God, Glenn, what the fuck said it? I got to think of it. For one another, whenever, wherever we can. Cheers to finding fuck yeah news. What brings us smiles, laughter, joy, and maybe bliss in each of our days, our weeks, our months, and even our years. Wow, even bliss. Got to find that bliss, bliss, bliss. Steven Sommers in the Streamlabs. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Steven. Says, hey, Roxy. Sorry your day was odd, but I hope you had a great 4th. Actually, I hope all your days are great because you deserve it, girl. That's really fucking sweet. I'll tell you this. Not all my days are great. And furthermore, not all of anybody's days are great. That's kind of the way that life goes, where some of our days are great and some of our days just fucking suck dick. I have a lot of friends who are struggling right now, and you guys know I'm a lot of things for a lot of people. So I'm getting a bunch of phone calls these days from people just like in hysterics, just not well. And it hurts my fucking soul. But the truth is, as we know, it's okay to not be okay. But not all the days are going to feel good. Not all the days are going to be sunshine and rainbows. Not all the days are we going to be in love. Not all the days are we going to be rich. Not all the days are we going to be with a roof over our heads. Not all the days are we going to not be betrayed or whatever it is. Not all the days are going to be everybody's alive and around. There's a lot of fucking days where if you're lucky, you're on this planet for a long time. And during that time, there's a lot of fucking days. So sometimes you got to ride the wave. And when you're going through it, that just is, I hate the expression is what it is, but sometimes you just got to go through it. Because as I talk about on this show all the time, the only way out is through. This we know. And so sometimes you just got to know that it's shit and just sit in the shit and do what you can to not make it worse. You know, things that make it worse, excessive drinking and drug use, not eating right, not treating your body well, staying inside and not seeing anybody. Those are things that make it worse. So you got to do everything you can to not make it worse, but sometimes you have no choice but to sit in the shit. And to anybody who's sitting in the shit right now, I see you and that fucking sucks. It sucks. And I hope that you get out of the shit sooner than later. So eloquently said, Roxy. You always got to bring it back to shit, don't you? Anybody with specific questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Shout out to everybody who's watching the show live today and those of you guys who joined me when I thought it was going to be at the earlier time. What does this button do? Got it. Button do. Thank you for being here. Emil Johansson, thank you for being here. Haskell 420, Andrew Thomas, Matthew Gold, My Amazing Mod, Glenn Caesar, Hour, Mohammed Belstein, Stephen Summers, John Bainbridge, John Get Bent. Keep scrolling, Ryan Payne, Glenn Caesar, the Zenist of the Glenists, Leroy Kong, Jake Yakavetta, Christian Hardesty. What's up, Christian? King Sport Cow, Bruce Banner, Joseph Ashley, and all of the people. John Eugene. Jesus is GOAT. Well, Jesus is kind of GOAT. You are right about that. Keon Burgeon, right now and later. Evan Hooker. And everyone else. Thank y'all for being here with us live today, even though we changed the time of the show like fucking 3 times. Drufus1, shout out to Scotland, Roxy. Love the work. Thanks for being here, friend. Sean Quinn. Yeah. All the people. You guys know that's the song. That's the jam. in the Streamlabs coming through from Glenn himself. Everyone who shows up to give all their support whenever, however they can when it gets tough, even by yourself, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You're a winner. You're fully unique. You're kind. You're caring. And showing up for people who need it and want it makes you priceless. Being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers, whether it's on the internet or not, makes you humane and worthy. Your story is important, deserves to be seen and heard. Two important things that we talk about on the show all the time. Thank you for the reminders, Glenn. We appreciate you. What up, Paige Chaudhry and Scott Morgan, who says Jesus is GOAT? I think so. I mean, Jesus was a Jew, and he is pretty great from the things we heard about him. Sean Quinn. Yeah. All right. Let's talk. What have we been doing for the last 11 minutes and 23 seconds? Pretty sure we were talking, but it makes it more official when you say, let's talk. I do that a lot, where anytime I want to speak to somebody about something specific, I say, can I ask you a question? It's like, why not just fucking ask the question? Can we talk? Why not just talk? Be direct. I'm going to work on that. But let's talk. King Sport Cal in the super chat says, do you feel like people underestimate you? Like they want to push you to your limits, then you prove them wrong? It's happening through my 39 years, maybe to you throughout your 39 years. And then a bunny, that's what's up. I think that almost every single person in my life is underestimated me my entire life. The only people I don't feel really underestimated by are my family, at least not career-wise. I feel like they've always known that I was going to be capable of doing what it was that I want to do. I'm still on that path. But for the most part, I feel very underestimated by every boss, by every casting director and every producer and every hometown person and every hater on the internet. And yeah, I've been underestimated my entire life. I think that a lot of people, as you guys know, the number one criticism about me online all the time is that I'm stupid. Everybody, when I was on, starting when I was with Screen Junkies and then going over to Collider, or when I'm on Sirius XM, or when I've been on Rotten Tomatoes or at AfterBuzz for DC Movie News. I mean, everywhere I've ever been, people see my face and say that I'm stupid before they even hear me speak. And that's shitty. And so, yeah, I've been underestimated by almost everybody because this is something that's uncomfortable to say. And there's no way to say it without sounding like a fucking doofus, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm very smart. I'm not stupid. Talking about school smart, but also I think that I'm relatively street smart, even though that's a strange term, and definitely business savvy enough. So it's just a weird thing to be called by everybody. And so, yeah, I've definitely been underestimated. And I'm sorry, King Sport Cal, that you have as well. I do think that underestimation is one of the best motivations that there is, though, because the best revenge is success. I talk about that all the time. That's with your exes. That's with friendships that didn't work out. That's with family members that you don't speak to. The best revenge is success. This we know. Nothing gets under somebody else's skin as much as if you make it. And whatever make it is to you. That could be financially successful. That could be family-wise successful. That could be career-wise successful. There's a lot of things that success means, but for sure, if you want to seek revenge on somebody who's wronged you or underestimated you, then fucking soar, because that's the best way to do it. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider right here in the super chat. Don't forget to share this video with y'all friends. Grow the Rockstars band. Like it if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And let's talk. Transition game as always strong. So, Richard Donner. Oh, God. The challenging thing is when somebody dies at 91, the conversation around the death is never gone too soon, or even sadness like, oh my God, so unexpected. It's just sad because he did live an extremely long, full, beautiful life, but he's no longer here, and that's fucking sad. He was a huge part of a lot of our a lot of our lives. I mean, if you are watching live at the Roxy, the chances are that you really fucking like Richard Donner, or you really, really like one of his movies or two of his movies or fucking five of his movies or more. He's incredibly good at what he does, but also for our little nerdy hearts, obviously he created what is known as one of the best and definitely most important superhero movies of all time in Superman. He changed the game. Again, released the Donner cut. So it's not like that was his only success. Even if it was, though, even if the only thing Richard Donner ever did was give us Superman, he would be so much appreciated and remembered. But it wasn't. I mean, when I was looking at Twitter, I was like, I didn't even realize half the fucking things. We're talking about Lethal Weapon, obviously, is huge for a lot of fucking people. All of the Lethal Weapons being huge for a lot of fucking people. Superman, Superman 2, both taking a huge, huge place in a lot of people's hearts. Apparently, he worked on a ton of TV shows that I wasn't even aware of at the time. So just the amount of Lady Hawk, the amount of stuff when you look through his filmography, just Ashley in here with Goonies. Yeah, Goonies is the one that I feel like rewatching right now. I really like Goonies, and I love Superman. Just grateful. I think that a lot of us just feel really, really grateful that he was on this planet and that he gave us so many classics that not only did our parents show us, if you're my age, but I'm going to show to my kids if I'm ever blessed in that department. When you span so many generations like that, you really did the damn thing. And I hope he's remembered forever and always. I think that he will be. And it was sad to see him go, but I'm glad that he is one of the ones who got to live a full life, and still sucks and sad. But I'm glad that that's the way that we are able to discuss it. Kevin Smith tweeted out and said, Richard Donner made the devil a child in The Omen, invented the modern-day comic book movie with Superman, and reinvented the buddy cop movie with Lethal Weapon. I got to meet with him last year about a project. Guy was a natural-born storyteller. Thanks for all the flicks, Dick. Really, really well said. He did do a ton of monumental, huge making moves things, not just as a director, but as a storyteller and as a filmmaker. And yeah, the headline for Hollywood Reporter, Richard Donner dies, Superman, Lethal Weapon, and the Goonies director was 91. So I would say those are three of his biggest, if not the biggest projects. The Omen being another one for sure. Dan Merle tweeted and said, Richard Donner redefined the concept of what a superhero on film could be. Every modern comic book movie owes him a debt of gratitude. I'm eternally grateful. Superman and Superman 2, Lethal Weapon, Scrooged. Yeah, we haven't mentioned that one yet. The Goonies, The Omen, Maverick, and more. What a cinematic legacy. Totally. Dan always does such a great job with these tweets. Sean Astin said Richard Donner had the biggest, boomiest voice you could imagine. He commanded attention, and he laughed like no man has ever laughed before. Dick was so much fun. What I perceived in him as a 12-year-old kid is that he cared. I loved how much he cared. Goonies never say die. Oh, what a beautiful tweet. What a beautiful, beautiful tweet. A lot of great memories. That is one of the perks of living into your 90s, is that people can just kind of focus on all the beautiful things you did. Haskell 420 says his IMDb is crazy, completely. Ben Rayner said he also did. I didn't know this until like a minute ago. He directed Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, that Twilight Zone episode with Shatner, iconic app. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't realize the amount of TV. I was just looking at that too, but that's crazy. Interesting. I'm sure that another thing is when somebody dies, we revisit while you should give somebody their flowers while they're alive, a lot of times when you die is when people revisit your film. And so I'm sure that will be in the days to come, realizing things just like that. And that's kind of a cool way to honor his memory by going back through his work. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Michelle says, hi, Roxy. I Streamlabbed yesterday during the World Girls about me having a boyfriend that has a micro penis and asked for advice. Do you think it's weird to ask friends for advice on something like this? Though I don't know if I have a friend who's been with someone with a micro. No, I don't think it's weird at all. Depends on your relationship with your friends. But my friends and I talk about sex all the time. So we have a very, very vocal and communicative friendship about sex because I always learn things from my friends. I learn do's and don'ts and fun things, and we share a lot. And so I'm just a very open person, but I feel comfortable with my friends. I think that you can just straight up ask and say, have any of you guys ever been with somebody who has a micro penis? And do you have any tips or tricks? And if they don't, then they don't. But maybe they have, and maybe they can be helpful. So yeah, I would feel comfortable. But if you don't feel comfortable, then there's also, you can try to find like blogs or YouTube shows about it. There was this podcaster I used to listen to, Sex with Emily, who had a lot of great different episodes. I don't remember specifically about this, but they're out there. John Lestrina in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, it's a good day when you get to spend time with hashtag family. Oh, hey, did you know there's a movie out called F9, The Fast Saga? It is awesome. John, did you see it more than once now? Let me know how many times. That's fucking great. Evan Hooker in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, I know you know this, but you're incredibly smart and insightful, Roxy. Anyone who says otherwise is insecure or doesn't know a thing about you. Also, to anyone sitting in shit right now, remember, shit makes the best fertilizer. Better days are always ahead. Oh, Evan, I love that comment. Wow, you turned my really, really disgusting reference into something beautiful. Shit does make the best fertilizer. I'm going to fucking tweet the hell out of that. Shit makes the best fertilizer. Wow. Wow. It's very poignant, Evan. Is it true that shit makes the best fertilizer? Cow shit, right? I don't know, but I fucking like it anyway. I like it anyway. Anybody else with questions, comments, concerns, or very insightful shit makes the best fertilizer speeches, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. I would love to hear from you all. Also, if you have a favorite Dick Donner movie or memory or anything that you wanted to mention, this is a nice way for us to communally speak about somebody who probably affected, like I said, most of our lives. And a lot of artists, too. I know that in this community, there are a lot of artists. And if you are an artist, it's very likely that at some point he's inspired you. So it's important to pay homage. And I'm sorry that he's not with us anymore, but very grateful for all the things he left us with, all of those gifts and all of the moments of his life that he gave to us through film and television. So thank you to Richard Donner, and anybody else who has anything to say on the matter, let me know, and I will let the people know, because that's the way that it goes. Moving on in the meantime, though, until you guys have more to say on him or whatever it is that you guys have on your pretty little minds. No, your minds are not little. Pretty big minds. Pretty big minds doesn't have the same ring to it on your pretty big minds. Huh. Don't know if that works as well for me. Let's talk about Stephen Dorff. Why did he do this? By a show of tornadoes versus hearts. Send tornadoes if you know what Stephen Dorff said, and said hearts if you don't. Tornadoes if you know the story I'm talking about, hearts if you don't. Just curious how big this story was, because I saw it today and I was like, why did you do this, Stephen Dorff? It's just effing weird. While you guys are sending in your tornadoes and hearts in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, John Lestrina said, I have seen it twice and I can't wait to see it again. Han is still the coolest. Maybe get some family to see it next week. Damn, John. You funny, huh? Have fun. I hope you see it 1,000 times. Emil in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, I'm not saying Black Widow is a masterpiece, but Dorff was pretentious. Yeah, super freaking pretentious. Anybody who says things like this is like, ugh, why? Why are you speaking? So let's see. By a show of tornadoes versus hearts, a lot of hearts. Okay, so a lot of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Great. Here's what I'll tell you. I'll read you guys the full story then. This is what Stephen Dorff said. I don't want to be in Black Widow. It looks like garbage, like a bad video game. I'm embarrassed for them, for Scarlett. I don't want to be in those movies. I'll find the next Kubrick and I'll act for him instead. This is so... it's so weird because we're living in an age where It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia pilot was shot on a phone, and then they understood its worth, so then they reshot it from there. Or like people's podcasts turn into TV shows, or a fucking string of tweets turns into a movie. I mean, we're a diary into a show. We're living in a time where art comes from in so many different places that it's just such an old school way of thinking to think that a movie, because it's a comic book movie, could not be good. What are the chances that Steven Dorff even saw this movie? Did he just watch the trailer and think that he didn't like the way it looked? Like, what are the chances that he actually watched it? And then on top of that, he's not talking about some green newbie. He said he's embarrassed for ScarJo. Scarlett Johansson's great in the movie. And are you embarrassed by the fact that she is in a movie that people are loving? Are you embarrassed by the fact that she's in a movie that's one of the first 10 female-led comic book movies? Are you embarrassed by the fact that she's making millions and millions of dollars? Are you embarrassed by the fact that she's the biggest or one of the biggest stars on the planet right now? Like, what part are you embarrassed for her? Because I'm pretty sure you're not. Pretty sure that when you say embarrassed, I think that the word you're looking for is jealous, and that you're not self-aware enough to admit that. Because I can't picture a world in which you're really embarrassed for ScarJo. Also, when you look at Steven Dorff's projects, it's not like he hasn't done some shit. Because he sits in the shit and it doesn't turn into manure. Nope. He sits in the shit and it doesn't turn into fertilizer all the time. Fuck, I fucked up my own fertilizer thing. Y'all get the fucking point. Y'all get the fucking point. Like, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And it's not even throwing stones because ScarJo is so good and so huge and the movie is really good. So what the fuck are you talking about? And like, when Martin Scorsese did this, I thought it was kind of funny because his pretentious ass can get away with this, but like, Steven Dorff? What? It's just, well, no way. No way do you really feel this way. It's a weird sentiment, bro. And I think you're making it up because you're jealous. And that makes it even worse and not self-aware enough to know. Ryan Payne in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider said, I came across Scrooge a couple years ago, and it's now my favorite Xmas movie. Bill Murray's performance is amazing. Karen Allen and Alfie Woodward are incredible. The speech at the end still brings me to tears. It's such a great scene and wonderfully directed. Yeah, a lot of people that I know are with you on this. I don't think I ever saw it, but my mentor, Kevin, raved about it. And I don't think if I did, when did it come out? If I saw it, it was a while ago, but I don't think so. Y'all know I miss Christmas movies, or I mix them up all the time. This little Jew's gotta step up her Christmas movie game. How do you guys feel about this Steven Dorff situation? Do you think he's right? Do you think that she should be embarrassed? I kind of doubt any of you guys feel that way, but would love to hear from you guys. Steve Cauldron says, some of Dorff's movies are garbage. Some of every major actor's movies are garbage. And he's not even where she's at, just career-wise. At this point, she really is one of the biggest stars on the planet. So everybody takes really weird movies sometimes, but this isn't one of those times. That's why it's so bizarre. Sean Quinn says some of the best movies I've seen, Dark Knight comic book movies. Yeah. I mean, it's just an antiquated way of thinking to think that superhero or comic book movies can't be great. Some of them win Oscars, some in different departments. A lot of them are nominated at this point. It's just if you don't think a comic book movie can be great, then you don't understand cinema anymore, or art or film. You're just not with the time. Just straight up not with the time. I hope that I'm never not with the time. I hope that I always am able to reprocess and invent myself, because what Steven Dorff sounds is old. You're making yourself sound old and petty and jealous. And that's ew. You know who people don't want to work with? People who say that. It's not the worst thing anybody's ever said, especially not in 2021. You know, he didn't say something fucking egregious, but at the same time, just We disagree, sir. And not even so politely. We just disagree. If anybody agrees or disagrees, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. While you guys are sending in your Streamlabs about that and Dick Donner and all the other things or questions, comments, concerns, I had a really fun weekend. Happy 5th of July. I hope a lot of you guys have the day off today. I did manage to party my face off. So thank you to my vaccinations and pandemic for slowly coming to a close. I appreciate that. I saw a lot of fucking comedy, this weekend. And actually, I was hanging out with a couple of, it's weird to like name drop shit, so I guess I won't, but a couple of comedians that I really respect and are really fucking funny, and went around and got to see a ton of shows with a bunch of ridiculously funny comedians in them. So that was a blast, and I love watching stand up. I also, as I told you guys, got after it on the booze train this weekend. And so my reminder to you guys is, when you decide to go on a bender weekend where you're drinking 2 nights in a row or whatever it is, or you're day drinking or whatever, in order to bounce back or balance that out, then you got to be cool for a little bit. So, today, got to be eating right, got to be drinking a lot of water, got to be working out. I only say this not to say like, oh, look at me, I know how to do this, but just to say, this morning when I woke up, I didn't feel great because booze is a depressant. And when you drink every day for a really long time, you kind of forget that. But if you only do these mini benders like I do sometimes, it's a funny word for them, but if you go off for 2 days and then on the third day you're not drinking, you feel a little depressed, you remember, oh yeah, I'm putting poison into my body. So the best way to counteract that, if you're gonna do the damn thing, is what I'm saying. Sweat it out, go on a run, get on that bike, eat fucking well, have your veggies, your protein too, and kind of just really remember, however you're feeling that day is not real. Your body is tricking you because you just put a bunch of fucking depressant into it. So hopefully that's a little helpful for you guys. But at the time, and so because of that, I'm feeling better now. But at the time, it was really fucking fun. I met a lot of new people, which I love meeting people. And I got to spend a lot of time with Steph and Darina because we did our 4th stream together, which was great. You guys showed the fuck up for the World Girls. It was so fun. And I really did it. I did my makeup and I went out and I was like, okay, living life again. Fucking hot girl summer. Let's go. Gang, gang. As another reminder to you guys, something that I don't talk about enough on this show, but as a lot of my friends are going through breakups right now or starting new relationships or whatever, I want to remind you guys that what's really sexy is when somebody's really into you. So to all you guys out there, girls out there, non-binary people, whoever's watching this show, when you're into somebody, be into them. Don't do that thing where you pretend you're not or you play games or whatever. And when somebody is doing that to you, don't feed that or encourage that behavior by being really into somebody who's acting like they're not into you. If somebody's really into you, reward that with positive reinforcement, because that's what we should want in life. We want to be with people who fucking gaga for us, who want to be with us, who look at us and are like, damn, that's the person. And so I just want to remind you guys that when people are pulling away, that's not your time to go running towards them. That's your time to pull away too. If people are pulling away from you, then we don't want them. Be into people who are into you. It's a lot better in the end. I'll do more on that a different time, but hopefully that's a little helpful for any of you guys who are dating right now, which I think is a lot of you guys. And good luck with that, because I'm with you, my friends, and it's a weird fucking world out there. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Pink Sweet says, oh, hi. Hi, Pink Sweets. I don't know how to phrase this without sounding mean. LOL. Okay. But what actors do you think can only good in one genre of film/TV? Oh, okay. I just watched The Tomorrow War and realized I personally don't like Chris Pratt outside of comedies. Have a good day. Interesting. I think that a lot of this would be like, I remember watching Paris Hilton in House of Wax and thinking like, wow, she really can only play Paris Hilton, but I kind of liked her as Paris Hilton. So like, There's a lot of reality TV people who crossed over and they can do a really good like Mean Girl or something like that. So that was the first thing I thought of. Trying to think of other I think John Cena. John Cena is really like action and comedy so far. I mean, we'll see. But definitely a lot of the wrestlers can really only do those big action or comedy. We'll see more though. Great question, Pink Sweets. Let me know what you guys think in the super chat, the Streamlabs, the chat. Tell me your answers. Jimmy Nails in the Streamlab says, my beloved grandmother showed me The Omen when I was 11 or 12. It started a lifelong obsession with horror films. Few celebrity deaths make me genuinely sad, especially when they've had a long life, but this one has made me sad. I feel that, Jimmy. But the best thing to do is celebrate by watching The Omen or whatever it is that you want to watch to celebrate. And I know it makes a lot of people genuinely sad. He was a really, really great artist. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, Stephen Dorff really spewing the hate, maybe self-hatred, and sitting in that shit and not using it as fertilizer. Not at all. Why not just be glad the ScarJo is working? Be better. Besides, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he was in one of the Blade movies. Yeah, he's done a lot of comic book-esque movies or like, movies of that genre or type. So I just don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But yeah, he's really sitting in the shit in a way that we don't like, we don't appreciate. Dylan Mentis Review says, haven't popped in for a minute, but hope things are going good, Rocks. Thanks, Dylan. Rest in peace, Richard Donner. Paris Hilton stars as Blind as a Gem. Totally. So people put out these one-hit wonders, man. They be out here really fucking putting out these one-hit wonders. We are going to get out of here relatively soon, so send in any last-minute Streamlabs or super chats, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns if you got them. Would love to hear from you guys on your favorite Richard Donner films or how you are going to be remembering him during this time or in the future. Also on Stephen Dorff from what he said. Also on your 4th of July and how your weekend went. Let me know all of those things before we hit the hay. No, that just means go to sleep. Before we hit the road. Sure, hit the road. I will be back here tomorrow. I'm also on SEN tomorrow and I think Thursday as well at 10 a.m. And then Friday, only stupid answers. But I'll be here every day this week because we're getting to that time where I'm going to be able to tell you guys what I'm going to be working on. But you guys know I'm taking off a couple weeks in August, which is stressing me the fuck out. And I really don't want to leave you guys. But I'm excited for what I'm doing. So we're just going to have to make it all work. And I'm lucky that the rock stars are behind me because thank freaking goodness for y'all. Any last minute questions, comments, concerns? In the meantime, shout out to all of you guys. Sean Quinn, Bruce Banner, Jimmy Nails, Helsing7747, Manny Gonzalez, Joseph Ashley, Steven Summers, John Get Bent, Ryan Pink, King Sportcal, Dylan Mentis Reviews, Demi ASAP. I never know how to say it. Demi ASAP. Jerry Garza, Haskell, Evan Hooker, Andrew Thomas, Jake Yacovetta, Elijah Anderson, Will Nichols, all of the people, Mark Jason Ali, and everybody else who is joining, John Eugene. Appreciate y'all for being here, and thank you for spending this time with me. As I said, I will be back tomorrow, and I'll also be on SEN. Before we leave, as always, you guys know, Brett Miles Johnson, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all 3 of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Not quite as important, but still important. Check your internet by blowing on it. Make your bed if you haven't already. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those flumes. Just last minute shout outs to Ben Chan, Christian Hardesty, Kylie Petrano. Yeah, Kylie. And all of my friends in here. Thank you for being part of the Rockstars band. And I love you guys a lot. Stay safe, stay sane. I will see you tomorrow on SEN and then live at the Roxy.